I've just spent the last 2 days at the craziest street festival. So this street festival was CubaDupa. So this street festival was CubaDupa, a annual street festival within Wellington, New Zealand. Didn't happen last year due to COVID. So before I get into what I enjoyed most about this festival, let me just say that I do have some new playing cards to show you guys, and we'll get to that a little later on in this video. But this street festival was amazing. It spans the entire length of one of the most popular streets in Wellington. From top to bottom, it's closed all along, no cars going through, and it's crazy. The amount of people, we have no tourists in New Zealand, but the amount of people, it was packed, you could hardly move. So there was a big circus tent set up in a parking lot, and that circus tent ran shows throughout the day. I managed to see a few of the shows, and they were great. There were two performers who actually did whip cracking, so the guy was cracking a whip and snapping like this flour on a rod out of the lady's mouth. They also did a straitjacket escape in that same show. I think that's actually the first straitjacket escape I've ever seen live. Yeah, it is. But otherwise, the best show within that circus tent that I saw was the variety show. It was rather hilarious. They had some amazing acts. I actually saw a guy, he didn't talk, he was so excited to unwrap a box. Like, it was just a box wrapped up in wrapping paper. He'd unwrap it, look inside the box, pull out more wrapping paper and tape, and then just rewrap the box, unwrap it again, pull it out, look in the box again, more paper and tape. He did that a couple of times, and then he looked in the box and he pulled out another box that was wrapped. Unwrapped that, pulled out another box that was wrapped, unwrapped that, pulled out another box that was wrapped, and then it was empty. And it was hilarious. I don't think I have any footage of it, but like, you can, exactly what I just said is exactly what happened. The guy was just so excited to do it. It was hilarious. Honestly, one of the most entertaining acts I've ever seen with so limited resources. So I'm not going to run through all of the acts that I saw, but I did just want to tell you about one of them really quickly. It was called Cuba Sonic. A ton of different bands, like marching bands, orchestra bands, brass bands, a bunch just lined up all along the entire street. And they all had headsets on, so they were communicating with each other. And there was a piece written by a New Zealand composer, John Sathis. I don't know if the piece is silent or not. They all played the same piece and they all like linked it all together in a really nice way. There was like 50 speakers hooked up on the entire street and it all blasted it out. So I just wanted to briefly share with you my experience of CubaDupa, one of the most creative street festivals within New Zealand. It was amazing, the variety and everything was great, and I will happily go next year. But otherwise, I guess let's get down to showing you the playing cards. So these are the L Retro playing cards. Produced by Derek McKee and Zach Davidson, designed by Olivia Warren. They were on Kickstarter quite a while ago. There was meant to be a limited run of 1,500 of them. Unfortunately, there was only a limited run of 1,400 due to people, like, I don't know, pulling out of the Kickstarter or something. They are all sealed and numbered, so this is 821 of 1,400. And unfortunately, I have decks 821 through 827, and because I only have 6 of them, that means I'm missing 823. These cards are embossed with silver on the front and the back of the tuck case. So I have already taken a first look at these cards, so this won't be my first impressions, unfortunately. But what surprised me when I first opened these is actually how thick these white borders are. If we compare them to other decks, like the Cactus playing cards here, or these elevation playing cards, they are quite a bit thick, as you can see right there. So that definitely surprised me when I first opened these. See, look how much white shows when you fan them. Otherwise, the Ace of Spades is quite simplistic. Just an L Retro Vegas on there. And then the deck does come in a random order. But otherwise everything else is standard. All the faces and cards are all standard within the deck, and that is the back design, which is the same as the tuck case. You do get a double back with this deck. You also get this card, which is the same design that is on the front of the tuck case, but it says, if you wish to keep cool, take a swim in the pool. So I'm not sure if this is referencing anything, or literally just, you know, a saying that is quite true and realistic. And then you also get these two jokers, which don't actually say Joker on them, surprisingly, but they are identical. Rather simplistic. So that was just a quick look at the L Retro playing cards, and I, you know, just enjoyed talking about my experiences of the CubaDupa Street Festival 2021. And I guess quickly let's talk about what I didn't do. So I didn't perform any magic, which, you know, sounds exactly like me at this point. If you've been following along with the last few videos, I'm talking about it more, how I don't perform as much as I wish I did. And again, it annoyed me all weekend, and I was thinking about it all weekend. I was lining up things to do and I just didn't, because I wasn't in a comfortable environment. I was with no one. I spent the weekend pretty much alone, which was a nice experience in and of itself, but not when I'm trying to start performing magic. And I hadn't planned on doing so for the weekend at the original start, so I hadn't really psyched myself up for it, for doing it alone. I definitely plan on doing it alone at some point. I think that's the first thing I want to do before doing it with other people, because then, you know, it's just easier, and that's the plan. But until that happens, I kind of got to psych myself up for it. I want to do it. I know I want to do it because it's all I can think about. But I still need to really take the time and prepare mentally as well as, you know, physically, in terms of what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, hopefully I can eventually get some performances under my belt, but unfortunately not for this street festival. That's just the hard truth, and I just thought I'd let you guys know. Be as realistic as possible with you guys. If you want to talk about anything in the comments, if you have any comments on this video or any others, just drop them down in the comments. I'm down to have a chat with any of you. I appreciate all the support from anyone who watches these videos. Thank you very much, guys, and see you on the next video.